In this video, I will be covering several topics regarding my gynecomastia surgery. For those of you who may have missed my previous videos, or if you're new to the channel, you can check out my playlist where I've documented my entire journey with the surgery step by step. However, in this video, I will be giving a brief recap of my overall experience, plus showing the results of the surgery 1 year later. For those of you who have been following the journey up to this point, thank you and welcome back to the channel. Some of you commented your questions and I'll be answering those as well. Some of you offered your well wishes, and some of you even said that you got the surgery after watching my videos, and that is so awesome. So let's get into it. Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy Christian, aka DJ NOY-Z of Beatwave Productions, and today I want to just catch you up with my surgery after 1 year. It's been exactly 1 year since I had the surgery, so I want to show you guys the results. But first, I want to start from the beginning by explaining why I got the surgery. As I explained in what was essentially my first video as a YouTuber, growing up with gynecomastia is extremely hard. It's embarrassing enough to be a man with breasts, but you have the added stress and of the ridicule that you receive from your peer group, and sometimes even from adults. Interestingly enough, I found that most of the ridicule came from girls, which is the last thing you want, especially when you become of the dating age. I'm not entirely sure why the girls were so mean, but the number one comment I would hear is something along the lines of, oh, look at his is bigger than mine, you know, and followed by being groped a lot of times by the girls. And I got to tell you, even after the surgery, it's painful just talking about it right now. I did find, however, that as folks got older and matured, a lot of the teasing has stopped. Thank goodness, but the psychological damage was already done. That self-consciousness is already too deep to recover from. I can say that I managed to lose quite a bit of weight as an adult, and by doing so, there is this found sense of hope. But there's also this heartbreak that comes along with the realization that weight loss does not correct gynecomastia, and surgery is the only course of action. Which brings me to my first point, which is the surgery itself. Starting with the cost, the surgery cost me about $7,000, and from what I can tell, that number tends to be about average across the US, but of course it's subject to change depending on which region you live in. But from what I can tell, that seems to be pretty typical. If you are one of the people who have gotten the surgery, please let us know in the comments how much you paid. Operation itself took about 2 hours to complete, and I was in recovery after the surgery, sleeping off the anesthesia for about another 2 hours, which was twice as long as the surgeon thought. The surgeon thought I was only going to be like sleeping off the anesthesia for about an hour, but I slept for 2. Truthfully, I don't really sleep much as it is, so I was probably just catching up on some much needed sleep. The process is a combination of removing breast tissue and liposuctioning the excessive fat from the chest area. My case was quite severe, so I had to have a nipple graft, which essentially means that when they removed the breast tissue and the fat, that would have left me with what essentially would have just been big skin bags on my chest. What they had to do was remove the extra skin. Unfortunately, the nipples are connected to that skin. So what they had to do is remove the nipples, stretch the skin out over the new flatter chest, and then reattach the nipples. Ralph, one of the viewers, had asked, did I lose sensation after the nipple graft? Unfortunately, Ralph, I did. It's sad to think that a part of your body doesn't work like it should, but honestly, what I gained in getting the surgery far outweighs what I lost. However, I do have female friends who have had nipple grafts done as a result of breast reductions, and I've been told that it may take some time for the sensation to come back, but if it does, they may actually come back. The sensation may come back and your nipples may be overly sensitive. Personally, my nipples were going to waste anyway. It's not like I was using them for anything, so really it's no big deal. Ralph also asked about the surgery and whether or not the surgeon had to go around the back. And I'll show you guys in a second. I'll take my shirt off here in a second and show you what it looks like. But what Ralph is referring to is that depending on how severe your case is, the surgeon may say that they have to go around and cut. I don't know if you guys can see me on the camera, but may have to go around and cut all the way back here. No, my surgeon actually did not do that. I think maybe it would have been better had they, because it left me what is essentially dog ears, what's called dog ears, and I'll explain more about that later. Ashish G asks, and Ashish, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name. He says, hi, I'm glad to see that you're happy. Was there any pain during or after the surgery, like being stabbed in the chest with a knife? Ashish, first, thank you for the well wishes. And second, wow, that was really specific. Honestly, no, I was under anesthesia, so I didn't feel anything. As my surgeon said, this is my surgeon says, they give you some good shit. That's what my surgeon said. And he did not lie. I never really felt any pain, even while I was in recovery, which took all in all about a month for me to recover. That's not to say I didn't have any discomfort in that month, but nothing that some simple ibuprofen couldn't handle. From time to time, I would feel something like a sharp pinprick, and then it was gone. That was about it. I was prescribed some painkillers that I only took for maybe the first day or so. Personally, I'm terrified of painkillers for their addictive properties, so I wanted to spend as little time on them as possible. So I have another question, Arpit, and again, I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong. By the way, these questions are questions that were commented on the various videos that you can find in the playlist, okay? Arpit asks, did you have any fainting issues? Were you able to do all your regular necessities, or did you need help? So no, I didn't have any issues with fainting, and I would actually be curious to know where you found information about fainting, because I have never heard that to be a side effect of the gynecomastia surgery. So if you can send me a link or something to where you got information about people fainting or anything, that would be very helpful, and I'll be sure to call it out. But no, I didn't have any issues with fainting. And as for my daily routines, such as bathing, cooking, cleaning, I was able to do almost all of my necessities on my own. However, my wife was very helpful in that area. She especially helped me with emptying my drains and recording the fluid output, which I had to document daily so the doctors knew when it was safe to remove the drain tubes. There wasn't much I couldn't do on my own, other than I was restricted from lifting more than 10 pounds for almost about 2 weeks. As far as the things I needed to do, I was fine. As far as the things that I wanted to do, I had to get help with, or I had to just wait it out until I was, healed a little bit more, where I could, like lift over 10 pounds. If my wife was available to help, I would use her help. If not, then I could do most things on my own. So if you have somebody to help you, by all means, don't force anything. Your stitches are going to be sensitive. Your nipple grafts are going to be especially sensitive. So you have to be very careful while you're healing, especially from a nipple graft, not to bump. I think this is a lateral bump, they call it. Like if you hit your chest against something, you got to make sure you don't laterally hit it, or you can like cause it to slide, because you remember the nipples basically has been removed and then replaced, and it's just kind of sitting there on some very thin skin and some very thin nerves. And if you hit it wrong, you could cause the nipple to slide out of place, and you could have maybe some real serious problems regarding the healing of your nipple. So I got a number of questions regarding the recovery process, and to be honest, the recovery sucked big time. To be clear, it was not about the pain, it was more about the inconveniences. For instance, for a while, while I was wearing the drains, I had to sleep sitting up, and I'm naturally a side sleeper. It is nearly impossible for me to get any type of sleep unless I'm sleeping on my side. While I had to sit in my bed, like sitting up, propped up against the wall, I don't think I got a good night's sleep for at least those 2 weeks. Like it was just miserable. Showering proved to be a bit of a headache as well. I couldn't even take a shower for about 3 days following the surgery, and the drains had to be pinned to what was essentially a shoestring that would be draped around my neck so that the drains didn't dangle to the shower floor. So for instance, if you see, here's the strings on my hoodie, right? I'm gonna just use this as an example. Hopefully you can see that. The drains would be pinned to something like this, and it would go around my neck while I was taking a shower, okay? While I was wearing my compression vest, the drains would be pinned to the compression vest just inside of my shoulders. But while I was in the shower, I had to use this strap shoestring thing around my neck, because you have to keep the drains elevated above your chest region, okay? That was kind of a pain. Also, you had to be very careful not to get water inside of the bandages on your nipples, or on my nipples. So washing the chest area was nothing more than letting the water just kind of gently cascading down my chest, and no matter what you did, the water still got trapped inside of the nipple bandages. Then there was the extra time that it took out of your day to empty the drains and measure and record how much fluid was coming out of them. So you had to make sure that, you know, you planned for that if you had a morning schedule that you had to keep. The nipple graft gave me probably the most trouble. After the bolsters or the sponge bandages were removed, everything looked pretty good. However, soon after, I thought my nipples were about to fall off. I mean, it was just disgusting. They turned into like a sludge. It was like this real sludgy, gooey mess. And I was about to lose my mind, and I checked online and I found many forums where people were panicking about the same thing. Apparently every surgeon in the world neglects to tell you that this is a normal part of the healing process. So if you have the surgery and you start looking at your nipples and it's like, oh my God, what is this slime and sludge or whatever, and it's kind of bleeding, completely normal. Your nipples are not falling off, and I'm about guarantee you that your surgeon did not tell you that. I had to check with my surgeon, and then I also found a video. Hopefully I can find that video from a surgeon, and I'll link it down in the bottom in the description. They explained that, you know, all of that is natural. So here we go. After 1 year, I'm going to show you guys the results and what it looks like. All right, so let's get to it. Now, if you can see here, let me see if I can get closer. There is a bit of a scar here. And you can see it over here as well. See the scar. You can see the scar ring going around here. I'm back up a little bit. You can see that I have a scar here. Scar here. And then about the dog ears that I was talking about. If I put my arms down, maybe you can see them a little bit better. You see right under here, there's like this little flap. So if you look at my chest, and this is like the dog, and this is, no, I'm playing. But these are like the dog eyes right down here on my sides. They would call these little area here dog ears. And this is one of the things that mostly does bother me about the how this came out. Overall, I'm very happy with the surgery. I have, you know, I told the doctor said, well, you're gonna have some scars. I said, listen, doc, I would be happy just being comfortable in my clothes. Like, I don't even have to take my shirt off at the beach. Which, by the way, I did take my shirt off at the beach, and I've got a video. Check it out up here. It was the first time I was ever out in public with my shirt off, and it felt great. But you know, the scarring, and like I said, also with the loss of the nipple sensation, what I'm getting in return is so much better than what I had going on. So I don't really mind it so much. But if anything that I could probably change is not the scarring, as you can see, it is this. So essentially, when Ralph, when I was reading Ralph's question earlier, he was asking whether or not the surgeon went all the way around the back, and he did not, but it may have alleviated. Basically, the dog ears they cut into my fat roll that I got back here. So I'm hoping that with some weight loss, maybe that'll go away. I don't know, but that's what I'm hoping. So that's pretty much, you know, that's it. Like, that's what the results are. The dog ears, the scars, and the scars that you can see around the nipple area here. So you see there's a little discoloration. I was told that if I wanted to, I can talk to the esthetician and they could do like a pigment tattoo that can cover in these scars and make the areola look a little bit better. I'm not a ton concerned with it. Also, I've been considering getting tattoos anyway, so I might be covering all of this up with tattoos, which is an option if you're feeling some kind of way about the scars. All right, so moving on. Lastly, I want to talk about the compression vest. Unfortunately, I could not find my medical compression vest that I got for this video, but I do have some other vests that I want to show you. I was fitted for the medical vest by a retailer that specializes in medical devices. I have seen where people have commented on other videos where you can get the compression vest from. Well, you can go to a place that specializes in compression vests. When you go to see your surgeon, they're going to tell you to come back with these vests. So they're going to tell you where to get one. You can also find some online, like the ones that I have over here. These are two different types of compression vests that I have. I actually had these before I had the surgery. I bought this online, and I will, if I can find it, I will put a link to it in the description to where you can get one of these. This one is pretty interesting because it's double layered. It's nice. So on the outside, it kind of resembles a t-shirt. So you could wear this like just out the way it is. These are really great for hiding the gynecomastia. I'll get more into that in just a second here, but the one that I have, the medical one, unlike this one is just a pullover. Also this one too, I'll show you this one here in a second too. The medical one that I have is a button up. It like has the hook clasp in the front, just like a bra. Essentially, you hook hook into the hose or whatever, just like you would on a bra, but it goes all the way down. And like I said, unfortunately, I couldn't find mine, but I've got pictures and you'll see it in some of the other videos if you go check those out. Also, I would say check out, if you really want to see it, check out, there's a YouTuber or YouTube channel. It's called So I Have Man Boobs. So I Have Man Boobs. That's another YouTube channel where the guy there, he goes into, I think, a really great description of the medical one that I can't find for this video. So I'll have a link in the description for that channel and that specific video. So I Have Man Boobs. It's the name of the channel. And like I said, they're great for hiding the gynecomastia. They're like similar to a like a corset or a body shaper or something like that that women will wear. And they're great, you know, just, you know, if you haven't had the surgery yet and you're still trying to save up for it and you're looking for a way to like hide it, because usually with us big guys, we might wear 2 or 3 t-shirts just to try to cover it up. Also, I remember watching on TV one time, it was this kid, like this teenager, that was dealing with gynecomastia, and what he started doing in order to hide his was that he was putting duct tape around his body. And that adhesive that from that duct tape was actually eating through his skin. And I want to say this is how serious this is. This is how serious this condition is that this kid who didn't know what to do to keep other people from ridiculing him for something that he couldn't help, he went and duct taped himself to try to hide his chest, and he hurt himself. All right, so this is not a laughing matter. It's not a joking matter. People go through a lot of stress trying to hide that. And make sure, you know, if you're a parent with kids, make sure that you're setting an example for them, first of all. So don't be a bully as an adult, but also teach your kids that, you know, people are different. People have imperfections and we all have them. And there's no reason to pick on anybody for that, because you really don't understand how much you could be messing up somebody's self-esteem for the rest of their life. Okay, this is really serious. So with that being said, check out these compression shirts. I really do like this one. I've actually worn this one out to the gym. I'll work out in it. And so in the purpose of a compression shirt is that they make sure that while you're healing, that all your giblets are tightly in place. They work something like braces that help to pull your teeth back into place. A compression vest does essentially the same thing. It's not uncommon to see athletes wear these, you know, for whatever reason, to keep everything, you know, your muscles tight and in place. So there are so many different reasons why you would want to use something like this, and it's not just necessarily for medical reasons. Like I said, I've worn this particular one several times out to the gym, you know. And other thing I like about this particular one is that it is short sleeve. They snug pretty tightly around my arms, so they make my arms and make my chest just look big and more muscular than they actually are. The problem with this particular one is that it can be quite difficult to put on. So I've developed a technique to putting it on. All you do is just kind of take it and you slap it on like this. Yeah, so you've got this one. You see how, you know, it really kind of pops your chest out. You know, this is great to wear, like I said, either to the gym. I've done it just like this, or you can wear it under your clothes or something like that. The other thing that I would do before the surgery was I would actually take my man boobs and I would kind of pull them up in here and let them sit high. And I mean, it really just made you look like you just had like a massive chest. So these are great for hiding the man boobs. So I want to show you this other one, and I also have a technique to putting this one on. Essentially, all you do is ta-da. As you can see, this one is a tank top, muscle shirt, beater, whatever you like to call it. I actually wear this one a lot more often because it's easier to get it on and off This one doesn't have the same type of compression as that one does, but this one will fit under your clothes maybe a little bit better. It doesn't hide as much of your fluff as the other one does, but it still works out especially well under like a dress shirt or maybe a thin t-shirt. Which brings me to the conclusion of this video and another question by our friend Ralph, who asked how I feel about my stomach since having the surgery. He says he feels like his is more noticeable, and to be honest, I couldn't agree more. Listen, I thought by getting this surgery, I was going to be overjoyed and all my problems were going to be gone. And but the truth is that couldn't be further from the truth. Just like Ralph, I am now seeing all the other problem areas, such as my gut, the dog ears that I talked about earlier. See, there is always going to be some type of imperfection. When you fix one thing, something else will start to draw your attention. This is how people become addicted to cosmetic surgery. We see all these perfect Hollywood types and we're made to believe that that's how we're supposed to look. Well, you can't Photoshop real life. You just can't. When you take your shirt off at the beach, you think everyone is looking at you. And you know what? Maybe they are. But guess what? They're not even going to remember you more than a few minutes later. Think about it. Do you remember everyone that you've ever seen? Of course not. I don't usually take note of people except for maybe the other big guys at the pool. And I think to myself, wow, they are braver than I am. And I wish I had the courage to walk around with my shirt off. So if anything, I applaud those people who are carefree. Before you get your surgery, you gotta first work on your psychology. Anyway, that's all I have for you for this video. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can know when I drop these videos. If you found any value in this video whatsoever, please check out the links in the description, and you'll find the videos about my gynecomastia journey and any of my affiliate links. My affiliate links are there where you can pick up any of these products that I've shown you, this compression vest, or any other shopping that you want to do. You can do it straight through the affiliate links. It doesn't cost you anything to shop through those affiliate links, but it does help to support the channel, and I will get a small commission if you do. Just the way to support the channel, doing something that you were going to do anyway. All right, I definitely appreciate you watching. Please let me know if you've got the surgery. Please let me know if you're thinking about it. It's part of the reason why I decided I wanted to cover this topic, because when I was looking for information, there's just honestly not a whole lot of guys out there talking about it. Okay, so I decided I was going to be brave, and as uncomfortable as it is for me to talk about all of this and whatever, it's well worth it if it helps somebody. Okay, all right, y'all. Love, peace, hair grease. Check you out. Essentially, all you do is